Into a really human. I've been bitten probably by more dogs in the world doing training. I couldn't handle it. He would be all over me, and I am a trainer. Now imagine a 5-year-old child. I wouldn't stand a chance in a bite suit. I would be dead in 10 minutes, at least.
News of the night, a tragic story in Brooklyn. A 19-month-old child mauled to death by the family dog, a Rottweiler, that went on the attack as his young brothers watched helplessly. The
4-year-old girl is in serious condition after being mauled by 5 large dogs.
She died at the hospital, and we've learned her mom used to live on Oahu.
So what can you do to ensure your child is safe, making national headlines?
A family in Las Vegas with Hawaii ties lost their baby in a dog attack.
19-month-old child mauled to death by the family dog, a Rottweiler, that went on the attack as his young...
Yesterday, firefighters had to use sirens to scare the dogs out before animal control removed them from the...
It happened yesterday in the northwest Las Vegas Valley. The family's pet, a purebred pit bull, mauled the 6
brothers watched helplessly. The boys... News of the night, a tragic story in Brooklyn. A 19-month-old child mauled to death by the family dog, a Rottweiler, that went on the attack as his young brothers watched helplessly. The
4-year-old girl is in serious condition after being mauled by 5 large dogs.
She died at the hospital, and we've learned her mom used to live on Oahu.
And so what can you do to ensure your child is safe, making national
They were just coming from
A family
everywhere.
in Las Vegas with Hawaii ties lost their baby in a dog attack.
19-month-old child mauled to death by the family dog, a Rottweiler, that went on the attack as his young...
Yesterday, firefighters had to use...
including David Gardella.
I just felt bad for the kids. They were terrified, you know.
David's the guy pouring water on the biting dogs. He says he then grabbed one of the canines.
I put him in a headlock, and I body slammed him to the ground so he would release off my wrist. And then Steve came up. It's a godsend that he was there. Put him in a chokehold, and I dropped down on top of him, putting all my body weight on him.
The dogs bit David and 6 other people, 5 of them kids. All went to the hospital for treatment. Police say this all started when 2 of the dogs got tangled with a 3rd one while being walked. They broke free, the attacking began. Both dogs were eventually contained, taken away by animal control, and put in quarantine.
It's very scary to see that happen, to see all those kids that were out there and subject to harm's way, and to see all those kids that were out there and subject to harm's way, and to see all those kids that were out there and subject to harm's way. But I was comforted by the fact to know that there's good Samaritans out there who didn't hesitate to jump in there.
Steve Greenwood says he normally parks for work by City Hall, but couldn't find a spot that day. The area where he did park put him closer to where his help was needed.
For some reason, I got to park there, and, you know, the man upstairs said, whatever, you know, that's where I was.
Ted Greenberg, NBC 10 News.
Let's log.
Yeah, I actually like the coffee pot right there better.
Look at Anna with the backsplash. Y'all, I'm rich now. Look at that. She lined it up perfect.
I did have a little oopsie there.
A little bit. Nah, you can't really see it though.
But the walls are.
Did you guys like the backsplash?
The what?
The backsplash in the kitchen.
This?
Yeah.
Disgusting from the steam and from oils. It was nasty.
It was hard to clean.
It is.
Well, I know Mama used to get turkey burgers. Kayla, Kira, why you keep saying why wouldn't they be?
Canceled. I'm already getting canceled because now I'm already abroad.
Well, you're canceled by kids. That's already happened. You mean you don't want to give it like that.
And now I have to get
Well, at least
some,
you cleaned it first. It looked clean once you finished cleaning it.
Yeah.
And
It
then
was easy to just wipe it down.
I can't wait to see how it's gonna look when you finish.
I didn't know I'm supposed to be cloth ready.
Do that. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Kids being attacked by dogs inside their home that they purchased from. You know, one of the main calls I get from people when they call me, when they decide to call us, is that their dog has started becoming aggressive and they're scared it's going to attack their child. Right? But before that, leading up to that, they didn't think it was a problem until their child's safety was at risk. Because I know how important it is when that dog sees a decoy and it bites you, everything in their mind gets captured, right? Everything gets captured and the dog registers all that information. So if the dog was actually biting, say, a child in a decoy suit, then the dog would automatically think that dogs already think children are fun games. They're play. It's all play. So there's 2 million children who are bitten by dogs every year. And I can bet out of those 2 million dogs, all 2 million of them are not protection dogs. They never did the training, never did the work. Now, could you imagine me as a breeder if I was taking little puppies and putting them on bite rags and bite suits and then I sold them to somebody else? I registered this dog's drive early and now the kids dogs do not like children. But for the majority of them, they tolerate them. And then there's an exceptional few that love kids. They love.
But again, you will not let them babysit.
Right. But
Take them to cats. Cats, they're very. But guess what? They're suffocated couple children.
right.
So I mean,
They'll lay in the crib on top of them. Yeah.
correct. So I mean, it's
So it's not
it's
that
animals.
person. It's just your animal instinct.
Correct.
When a child starts running, they activate the dog's prey drive. All the screaming, it makes the dog reactive. All the jumping, the poking, all the stuff. Some dogs can't handle that type of pressure. And once it gets enough, we do what it calls a bite correction. And this is when the owners say we got to get rid of the dog, not address the child. Not address what is the child doing to put themselves in that situation. Number one, the child should never be left alone with a dog, period, ever. I don't care how small or how harmless you think it is. Because I'll tell you this, people do one thing when everyone's looking, they do another thing else so nobody's looking. Everyone has done that in their life. I don't care if you say you haven't, that's a lie. Because, right? And I'm not blaming the child being attacked by children being attacked that they instigated. If the dog attacks a child unprovoked, that is dangerous. Like if the child has done absolutely nothing and that dog goes after that kid, you better get that dog out of your house because it will kill that child, right? Now, if you had a dog living in your house for say 2 years, a year or two, and you had little kids and it's never attacked the kids, and then one day it went after the kids, you should already know that kid was doing something. That didn't come out of nowhere. The dog didn't just say, oh, I'm gonna bite little Charlie today, right? You should already know that something happened and it was leaning on the child, whatever they were doing. And maybe the child is a child, so they don't know what they're doing with that animal is wrong.
People's excuse is always like, well, it shouldn't bite the child. you shouldn't leave it alone unattended.
Well, believe it or not, dogs may not show you any respect or boundaries, but they respect their boundaries, and they'll correct you when you cross them. No, it's the wrong time. It's when you find out you're at PetSmart, and the kid comes up to your dog to pet your dog, and then your dog reaches out and bites him. First thing you say is, that never happened before. He's always nice. But he's always nice to kids. You didn't say that part. That's how they are. Now, they may come over in your space and jump on you and all that, but they're like, hey, you don't show me corrections on boundary space anyway, so why do you care?
Right.
You know? So, I think people really don't think about their family when they're getting the dog. They think about their selfish need. I want a Rottweiler. I'm gonna get a Rottweiler. I don't care what my wife and my kids think. I'm getting a Rottweiler. Then they go get a Rottweiler probably from the wrong person. The dogs are probably genetically reactive to children. They bring it in their house. They start training with it. They think everything's okay. And as soon as they leave, the dog doesn't respect the wife or the kids, and they show them really fast who's running things. And the next thing you know, they're on the phone calling shelters and humane societies. I gotta get this dog out of here. Or dog trainers, can you fix this? Right? Mm-hmm. So it really comes down, dogs are like cars. If you buy a Ferrari and you can't drive a stick, you ain't going nowhere. Right? So people have to realize when you're buying something, it has to fit you and the people inside your home.
Correct.
Right? And if the child is not safe, and you keep the dog, yes, DSS should be called out. You are an unfit parent. I believe that. If you know the dog's a danger to your kids and you still keep the dog, or a danger to children in general, and you don't get it put down, and it gets loose, someone's child is going to get hurt behind your stupidity and your cheapness to get rid of that dog and try to get a friendly dog. Like, I don't want a lab because they're too friendly. Well, they don't just look mean. Some of them are really mean. And some of them are really human aggressive. If I ran... If your dog is desensitized to children when they're small, they'll be nice to them when they get big. But if they're not around them and they're already full grown, you missed that boat. Into a really human aggressive... probably by more dogs in the world doing training, I couldn't handle it. He would be all over me, and I am a trainer. Now imagine a 5-year-old child. I wouldn't stand a chance without a bite suit. I would be dead in 10 minutes, at least. I might be able to run and dodge, but eventually I would get tired and he would catch me and he would do what he wanted to do with me. Now imagine a kid who's never been bit by a dog, who's never stood in the ring with a dog, who's scared of dogs, and the dog is about to take their life. They wouldn't know how to fight back. They wouldn't know how to fight back. Now you have a parent who's bringing that type of breed into their home with their children, and they don't understand the magnitude of how dangerous that dog is.
Yeah.
Right? When you get a dog breed, it has to, if you're a single, get whatever you want.
But you're not going to stay single forever.
But if you are not single, then you get a dog breed that matches your family. You know, something friendly, some. Yes, good girl. So we want to show Mama Anna something. Show Mama Anna. No. You gotta show Mama Anna. You gotta show Mama Anna. You show Mama Anna. So she learned how to down. Sit. Treat. No, treat. Oh, good girl. This one is gonna be her Bali. Bali? No. Come here, Mom. Sit. She's sighted. Oh, you hit it. Good girl. She's sighted. This one's gonna be her walkie. Once I get it figured out. Sit. Tell me walkie. Good girl. So that's gonna actually physically say walkie.
What happened with the buttons?
They ain't working.
Oh.
Let's see. Come on. Nothing works when you need it to. Sit. All right. Tell me. Now, do you want to see her think? Good girl. Yeah, I'll show you. Want to see a dog think, Anna? Watch this. So I'm gonna bring her in between the things, right? I'm gonna make her sit right here. Then I'm gonna make her make a decision. Treat. You see, she gave it a, she said, I went down. The reason why she did that is because that's how I taught her to down, was to hit the button. Now if I step over by the button like this, good girl. There we go. Show your superpowers, mama. Sit. Are you having this much fun when you're training your dogs? Down.
No.
Down. I bet you ain't. Hi. That, yeah, tell them about it. You tell them about it.
Wearing your bras either.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of dog trainers don't wear bras. I know I don't. Down. Good girl. Want to play that game? Now you know why they call it. You want the treat? Oh, she wants the treat, Anna. She told me she wants the treat. Here we go, mama. Down. Good girl. This is how I taught her to down. By doing the buttons. Sit. Sit.
Don't give everybody your
Down.
secrets.
Well, not everybody can teach a dog to touch the buttons either.
Well, not all the trainers.
They're over there. Raiden, the buttons are over there, not my shoe. She's trying to use my shoe as a button. Raiden, go treat. Go treat. Go treat. It's over there. No, the treat's over there. The button's over there.
Go get the button.
Don't get. Here we go. Watch this. I'm gonna bring her away from the buttons. Watch this. They see, that's what I want. I want her to do something, not really, you know, make her do something. Tell me about it. Good girl. Let it down. Ain't that amazing? All right, guys, in today's news, we're going to talk about a dog trainer out of Lowry, South Carolina. He is it's right outside Conway, South Carolina, right next to Myrtle Beach. It's called True Missions Canine. It's a family-oriented dog training company. I implore you to go see these people. Don is a very good person. His family is helping him train the dogs. You see it right now in these photos and videos. They are really a family-oriented dog training company. They're not like some people who say they are and then they're the only person training the dog and the family has nothing to do with it. They are. The dogs live with them. The dogs sleep with them. Me and him will meet up soon. I'm very impressed with the videos and the footage I've seen so far with the obedience that they do with the dogs. He does exactly, is almost mirrored to my family, right? His sons are learning how to train the dogs at a young age. His sons are active. He is a certified dog trainer. He has gone through training, so he understands all the stuff of the quadrants of negative reinforcement and positive reinforcement. He understands motivating the dog. He understands all these things, behavior modification. He definitely understands protection. He is going to get with me later about getting more in depth with protection. But if you need your dog trained now and you live in the Columbia area or you're in South Carolina, travel to see True Missions Canine. You have to get your dogs down there. You cannot hesitate. This is a great place to be. I'm telling you, if you take your dog anywhere else, you're gonna regret it because he's gonna make you pay double if he has to fix what another trainer has done, right? You can find him on Facebook. You can go check out, I'm gonna leave the link in here so that you can go click on his Facebook. He doesn't have a YouTube, but you can go on Facebook and you can check him out. You can see all the wonderful things they're doing with dogs. And guess what, guys? I don't think he has enough dogs. So we need to get him more dogs. We need to pump him with more dogs. Let's get him busy. Let's get him going. Again, it's called True Missions Canine. They're out of Conway, South Carolina. Very, very good team. I can't say enough about them. I haven't met them in person yet. I have done my research and I will recommend this dog training company. Okay, so if you're looking for basic obedience, behavior modification, off leash, you want to go see Don White at True Missions Canine in Conway, South Carolina. And you get to go to the beach. He'll take the dogs to the beach and then the dogs get to finally see the ocean. What greater way to celebrate dog training than being on the ocean? Thank you, Don. We love you. Madison Bell down here, the Carter family, and my family can't wait to meet your family. I add pressure on this prong and I say here, and she comes. The minute she sits, I can reinforce that positively with a treat, right? So this is what I want you to do. I want you to sit, right? So if I want her to come up on the stand and I go like this, here, and I add pressure right here for her to come up. That's negative. That was going to be positive. Punishment, because I have a prong collar. Say for instance, you're already in the negative reinforcement area, right? And it was just going to come with positive punishment. And you have positive reward. You have negative reward as well. Negative reward would be me not giving her the treat. Right? If she didn't sit when I wanted her to, and I didn't, say for instance, I go right here, because she hasn't started down yet, so I'll use down as an example. If I go like this and I go sit, and I go to lure down, no, we have a cat in the session, down, I'm not gonna release the treat until she comes all the way down, right? So I kept the treat. The minute that her whole body went down, that she went down, so she's gonna get the treat, right? So the fact that she sat right there, that's an implied position. Now I want to have my treat ready. That's not where I wanted to sit, but I want to have. So this is how dogs understand. So if I walk over here, and you see, you guys, you see, I'm training with the cats, and I just hold it down. Now if I add pressure on the prong, down. Like this, then I give her the treat. Now the treat should be given to her within a second, right? So we come around again, have my treat ready, right? So if I bring my treat up here and I go, come on, up, I release the treat, I was positive reinforcement, letting her know that it was okay that she got the treat. And she implied that if I sit, that I'll get a treat, which is positive reinforcement, right? And I reinforced that with giving her the treat, that she did it right? Their distraction, they want treats too. So that would be negative reinforcement. She did not get the treat, right? Down. We walk around, no. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. I gotta add pressure here and pull her on up. Come on. Good girl. Yes. And I go sit, and then I reinforce that with a treat, right? Positive reinforcement, right? If I want to bring her down off of the table at any point in time, if I use the word no, for instance, if I go sit, yes, good girl, and then I go down, and she doesn't go down, I go no, that's going to be negative reinforcement, right? So if I want to bring her down again, I'm going to start to lure down, good girl, down, and add a little pressure. Her butt's going to pop up. That happens, right? And the easier way for me to do this, and I'm going to do it right here. This is the easier way for me to do this. I can bring her here. Good girl. Good girl. Right? And the further my hand gets under here, she's going to have to go down. Gravity's going to take place. So I didn't have to apply pressure. Good girl, yeah. Good. Get her to understand how the pressure works with the leash, right? If I pull up, I'm at here, that's positive punishment. I am adding pressure, you can see on the leash is stretched. Adding pressure, which is positive punishment. I'm adding to the scenario, which I'm reinforcing it negatively, like by allowing that pressure to stay on, right? So if I go like this and I go, you can definitely wait and you could do that later, right? But you started girl. So she didn't go all the way down, but you don't have to get her to go all the way down the first time. Positive reinforcer, okay? So if you think you're not, come on, yeah, good girl, yeah, come on. I was trying to do, like if I was doing healing, I release, that's positive, sit, gonna put her in the sit, down. You can do negative reward and not give the dog the reward. And this was the pressure off of her leash, all right? So if I want to guide her out, I'm adding pressure, right? The minute I release it, then I reinforce whatever I'm telling your dog. Negative, anything negative. Negative doesn't mean good or bad. It means to add or subtract. Sit, and then I release. Her reward was I release in the situation. All right. Like you, here we go. Good girl, yes. The one thing you did notice, I did not tell her to sit, right? I never told her to sit. So if she started offering the behavior, then I'll start to reward her. Yes, good girl, right? No, you can't have her treat. Sit, sit. I'm not gonna give her a treat, right? So again, I hope you guys enjoyed that training session. She did really wonderful with all the cats and the distractions, and she's not pulling on leashes much, and she's very calm and relaxed. So this is Raiden. She helped me put this together for you. Sit, Raiden. She helped me put this together for you guys, and she did absolutely wonderful, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Come on, Raiden, let's go potty. Come on.